The Shawnee Board of Zoning Appeals for May 17th, 2018 is called to order. Let's stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Welcome to the meeting, Mr. Baldwin.
Present.
Mr. Feback.
Present.
Mr. Jean-Baptiste isn't here. Bob Prosser is here. Mr. Waters isn't here. Our newest member of the board, I'd like to welcome Mr. Jim Kilmartin.
Present.
Jim is a retired healthcare executive who's lived in Shawnee now for, I think, 6 years. Is that right?
That's correct.
And volunteered to do this as a public service. Thank you so much, and you're most welcome. Approval. Second. Okay. Approval of the minutes from the Board of Zoning Appeals meeting October 19th, 2017. When was that anyway? Any additions or corrections to the minutes? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? No. New business, BZA 1-1801, a variance to Shawnee Municipal Code to allow a small porch to be constructed within the 50-foot.
No, that was the.
Whoops, I'm sorry, whoops. I knew there was something wrong here. There we go, let's try this again. BZA 2-1805. This is to provide total side yard setbacks of less than 20% of the lot frontage in an R1 single-family residential zoning district for the lot at 6931 Keaton Street. Just for an explanation, this lot has an irregular front shape. And the way I understand the zoning ordinance is worded, the city has to measure, according to their interpretation, along the curve of the lot rather than the front. If it were measured straight across, it would meet the requirements, but they need a variance for this. Is there anyone here to object to granting this variance? Anyone? We can probably dispense with the staff presentation then. I would take a motion to accept this variance under standard conditions. The standard conditions are, number one, you have to build what you say you're going to build. You can't change what you're going to build. The second thing is, for this variance to be in effect, the building permit has to be issued within 6 months of today, otherwise the variance expires. Okay?
Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve this variance as presented.
Second?
I'll second that.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. One more minor item of business. The Board of Zoning Appeals is also charged with interpreting zoning ordinances. And talking to the city staff, the city attorney thought the ordinance was worded in such a way that they had to measure this along the curve rather than straight. Seems to make more sense to measure it straight. And I would accept a motion to allow the city for irregularly shaped front lots to use a straight line front yard measurement to determine side yard variance requirements. That would probably save us getting a few of these. If someone will put a motion on the table, we'll have a discussion if you want to.
Also move.
Do we have a second?
I do have one question.
Well, let's get the motion seconded
Okay,
first.
go ahead.
You want to second the motion?
I'll second the motion.
That's fine. Question now. Go ahead.
Okay, the question is, do you make that linear line equidistant to the front of the house? Or where do you
I
gonna
would
measure
suggest
that
you do from lot corner to lot corner.
Front
Just draw a
corner to
straight
front
line.
corner.
Yeah.
Because this one
That's
might
exactly
be
what we were
slightly
thinking.
askew.
Yeah, I'd say lot corner to lot corner. Does that sound reasonable? It's
It
just, the other thing, they can always ask for a variance. It just keeps a bunch of these from coming back to the board for the same reason, because it's probably the wording of the ordinance isn't clear. Is that okay?
Yeah.
So the amendment is that this is going to be measured from the two corners of the front lot.
Okay.
And a line which is, maybe to say a line which is quasi-parallel or close to parallel to the back lot line.
Okay.
Does that sound good?
Well, it depends on how it's, I mean, this one wouldn't necessarily be, it's somewhat parallel to it, but
That's,
I
maybe
would
that's
think
bad.
the
Yeah,
two
that's-
front yard corner lots just draw us.
That's fine. Okay, let's just leave it at that. Okay. Any further discussion?
Nope.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Any more business before the board? Do we have a meeting next month, you know? Okay, thank you so much. Thank you all for coming. Adjourn.